What's going on, everyone? It's Firin with the Crab Miso Dynasty, bringing to you something out of the ordinary from most videos on Disgaea RPG, and that is a warning on how to handle these character gates. Before we get started, if you like the video, please hit the like and subscribe button so we can look forward to bringing you more content in the future. So I know that a lot of us are very excited to test out this character gate and go in there and beat it, since most of the people playing the game weren't able to do it the first time. You've got the 1900 dungeon, you've got the 3000 dungeon, and if you couldn't do either or, you'll probably be able to do the 1900 dungeon by now. The point in this video is to pretty much explain that if you can, do everything in your power to not do the 1900 dungeon. If you have the ability to do so, do the 3000. Reason why I'm recommending this to everyone is because if you're going in there just to try it for the fun of it, then for all means the 1900 dungeon is fine. But if you're actually going in there for the actual fragments of Majin Etna, because she is a fantastic character, then you definitely want to do the 3000. The issue that comes with this is that the 3000 pretty much feels like it has a 100% drop rate of the fragment, whereas the 1900 dungeon feels like it has about a 20% rate. We've had several people testing this out. Nothing's confirmed. I couldn't find anything online. A lot of other people couldn't find anything online, but the drop rate in the 1900 definitely feels like about 20%. If you feel that you're not going to be able to do the 3000, then I would highly recommend that you continuously do it over and over and over until you get good RNG and are actually able to complete it. Majin Etna is definitely a fight that has mechanics. It's not something that you can probably cheese. Now that we have New Year's Roslyn here, it may be a little different story. I'm not too sure. I just remember that when I cleared it before Majin Etna was here, and when it came out the first time, I was actually able to do the 1900 dungeon, and I was actually able to do the 3000 dungeon as well. And then I realized how upset I was because I didn't get the drop from the first one. If you actually see here on the screen, you see that my Majin Etna is NE2, and that has everything to do with the fact that I was unable to actually get the fragment because I did the 1900, which kind of screwed me out of making her NE3. She's definitely a character that you would want to go for. If you look at her kit, just everything about her is about speed. Her main ability is one thing that you definitely don't want to sneeze at. Not only does it make her a lot stronger, but it also makes her a lot more tankier. She reduces the stats of females by 14% in terms of defense and resistance. Again, females are about half the game, so that is a big help. Her ability to increase her SP by 25 when the battle begins, that lets it to where you have access to her stronger AoE abilities right when the battle begins. And also, as you see, Spear Wielder gain 12% in speed when the battle begins. That basically makes it to where you come out the gate dealing insane damage. Majin Etna is definitely one of those characters where if you're trying to kill something incredibly fast, or if you're speed farming and want to get things done in a super quick amount of time, she's the character to go with. She has 3 really good AoE abilities coming out the gate. The first one is Major Prinny Raid, next being Sexy Beam, and the last one being Chaos Impact. Out of all these abilities, the best one to use if you're trying to make her go really fast is going to be her Major Prinny Raid, because it gives her an additional 5% to her speed. This ability is nothing to sneeze at. It is super helpful when you just want to go fast. You just want to go fast. You just want to kill everything as quickly as possible. Her Chaos Dead End, or Dead End Chaos, I haven't unlocked it yet, simply because of that whole misunderstanding about the 1900 and the 3000 dungeon. So I'm pretty sure that once it is, she's going to be doing crazy damage. The fact that she's getting 20 to start out with SP when the battle begins, and then she's getting an additional 25, putting her at 45 when she starts the battle, And then as the fight goes on, if there's any team attacks that takes place, it pretty much means that she has the ability to have Dead End Chaos by turn 2, if not turn 3, which is incredibly strong if you're trying to take out the enemy as quickly as possible and it happens to be a boss. This makes it to where not only is she a good AoE farm killer, but she's also a very good quick boss nuker. The thing about Majin Etna is because all of her abilities are based around when the battle begins, this literally means you want to win as soon as possible. After those 3 turns are up, she falls off and she doesn't feel as competitive to other units that are currently in the S tier meta. Majin Etna is a 4-wave fight. With that being said, there are a number of ways that you can actually tackle this fight to make it a lot easier on you. 2 really good characters that I recommend to bring to this fight is definitely going to be Disgaea and Etna. While this may seem a little weird to bring Etna, everything about this fight is Etna's playground. Etna deals additional damage to both females and Prinnies, which that's what's the only thing to fight against. Disgaea in herself, because she is a physical monster, she's going to get double her stats, so if you receive heavy amounts of damage, she should be able to survive with no issue at all. The first wave is going to start with Etna using sleep on your highest, strongest character, which would more than likely be your Disgaea. And when that happens, if it succeeds, then you may want to restart the fight. The fact that your Disgaea is now sleep pretty much removes her from the fight and unable to perform and act to be ready for the later fights that are to come. There is a Prinny that attacks right after Etna casts sleep on your Disgaea, if that's who she chooses to cast it on. And if that Prinny happens to attack Disgaea from being asleep, then you're in the clear. The Prinnies don't typically deal a very large amount of damage, but when they actually use their abilities, it does have the potential to wipe your party. Clear the first wave as quickly as you can, and definitely pay attention to the action gauge and which Prinny is actually going to go next. For waves 2 and 3, it's no different. You just want to be careful and make sure that you pay attention to the action gauge, because once certain Prinnies get their turns, they do have the ability to cast Forget and Sleep on your party. Wave 3 is really not that much different, but wave 4 is when it gets a little difficult. Wave 4 is going to be Majin Etna surrounded by 4 Prinnies. These Prinnies are ridiculously fast, so you want to make sure that they don't get their turn. Pay attention to the action gauge and kill the ones that have the action gauge coming up next, so that you don't have to worry about anything being cast on your team. Majin Etna is another story. This is one of those situations where RNG is your friend or it can be your enemy. You want Majin Etna to pretty much kill party members that you don't really care about losing, and you definitely don't want her to kill your Disgaea or Etna. She does have weaker AoE abilities that she'll cast, which shouldn't really do too much damage, but she definitely has some higher damaging ones that could wipe your entire party. This is a fight that you want to attempt multiple times, regardless the amount of AP you spend, just so you can clear that 3000 dungeon. There's really not too much to this fight other than that. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was very informative and answered any doubts or questions you had about playing the game. Our Discord and Twitch is in the description below. Feel free to come and join us and become a part of the Crab Miso Dynasty. Stay cool and slay pixels.